Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Flipping the Script with Suzanne. And today we have an amazing guy. His name is Jonathan Vargas, and he is an independent filmmaker. His history is very, very interesting. He decided to get involved with storytelling at a very young age using unique tools, which I'm sure he'll share with you. He has a passion for horror and violence films, and he did give a try at romantic comedy, and he has 14 awards on one of his short films. So everybody, please welcome Jonathan. Hi, Jonathan.
Hi, Suzanne. How are you?
I'm doing really good. All right, so let's start with what amazing thing did you do as a young child that got you decided to do short films?
And growing up, I was introduced to Godzilla films. So I fell in love with just those movies. Like at the time, as a young kid, like you think like, oh my God, is Godzilla real? And then as you grow up, you find out, oh, it's a guy in a suit. But just that imagination, that of what they did at the time, I remember as a kid, like I would just get like my action figures and like my Godzilla toys, and I would just create my own little world.
That is something I think that maybe artists really can be reminded of, is that every project or every concept and every idea that you have, although it may have been sparked by something that you watched or something that has historical significance that you saw when you were a young child and it keeps you fueling, every project you do, you're starting from scratch. It's that initial creative spark. And without that, nothing can be created.
As I got older, like around my early 20s when I was in college, I realized that I needed to get away from that because I was on a path of self-destruction. So now my drug is filmmaking. And
I think we're going to be heading back to the storytelling. You think? Like moving away from the blow you up CGI costuming and all that stuff. While all of that is good eye candy, we've got to get back to stories because that's what moves people. That's what I want to see happening in the world. That's what I'm passionate about. It's like, how can we create a story that moves a person emotionally, spiritually, physically?
you can have these personal stories, but if you don't have like maybe a touch of like some superheroes or some explosions or a big star, they often get lost in the shuffle. Because here's the thing, and this is also beneficial for me, filmmaking, especially now, is very easy to do. Because listen, you can make a movie off your phone alone. You don't have to have like, $100,000 camera setup. You can basically shoot on your camera. But the thing is, now with technology, everyone thinks that they're a filmmaker and everyone is submitting all at the same time. And now the market is oversaturated.
When you're an independent filmmaker, I just think that is the most courageous, creative field to be in. And this is why it's important to have that balance, right? You have the career on one side to fuel your passion because it's a tough way to make a buck, right?
Right.
But it's a fulfilling way to make a life. And that's what we're here to do. In this lifetime, we're here to create the best life we can. And that is joy, fulfillment. And if doing independent films is what brings you joy and fulfillment, then you don't let that go. And you grow and you evolve and you do one project and you think, well, that really sucked. But wow, I really learned a lot about how shitty that really was. But I learned from silent, and you don't have to wait.
No, I mean, you have to create opportunities for yourself because this is something that I learned. Like, listen, do not wait for opportunity. Create the opportunities.
Right.
Because there was a time when I first started making my own movies, I didn't have, I was waiting for people to like, hey, come on, let's just do a movie. Let's just do this. It never came. And then that's when I realized, if I'm going to make these movies, I'm going to have to do it myself. Even if they're going to be rough, even if they're not going to be the best, I'm still doing it. I'm still doing something that a lot of people just wait around and just be like, I'm at a point now where it's like, I only live once. If I don't do this now, when am I going to do it? Yeah. And that's the thing that I think filmmakers need to do. You have to trust your actors. Yes, I understand that you have your vision and what you want to do, but give some trust, because if you can trust your actors, trust me, they will bring it to life, and you can get some very solid, strong performances because now that level of trust is there. And for me, in my opinion, the most important thing is trust.
The craft services that keeps us filled up with food, they need to choose better food. Come on, craft services. Cashews, fruit, come on. put away the packaged foods. But it's true because we have to be very clear and open. You know what? I honestly, I think we could just talk for hours about this.
We could.
We could. So I'm going to have you back. You open for that?
Of
Definitely.
course.
Yeah.
Of course.